Hey, Peeps Galucia here, and today I'm starting off the video with an apology. I'm going to have to make this short and sweet because I recorded episode 2 already, and something went wrong with my mic recording. It picked up none of it, and rather than trying to do a post commentary and fix it all up, I decided I'll just do a quick run through because now I need to quickly get this video put together if I'm going to post it when I want to post it. So, when I last left you, we were getting ready to start building machines and all that, and obviously I've done that. So I'm going to give you the rundown of how I choose to start IndustrialCraft and the actual tutorial of how to do those things. So obviously we finished the house. That much is clear, because before we didn't have a roof, we didn't have a proper floor. I found a bunch of marble in my basement of all places. So nice marble floor. Here's the basement. So what I like to do when I start is I like to have a Macerator, first things first, and then an Extractor. Those are the two key machines to really get started. And you can't do either of those things without a generator, because a generator is how you create the electricity that you need. So let's go through this. Thankfully, in the inventory, you can see recipes of things, so I can show you how to go about this stuff and the order in which I did it. So first things first, making a generator, and the key to that is that one of the ingredients is an iron furnace. So we can create an iron furnace and use it for a little while we work on the rest of the ingredients that we need. The iron furnace is a little bit better than the regular furnace. For example, one piece of coal will cook 10 items as opposed to 8, which is what I'll cook in a regular furnace. So to do that, the first thing we have to do is make a forge hammer. And let's type in forge. There you go. So there's your recipe for the forge hammer. Any type of stick with 5 pieces of iron. Get you a forge hammer. Now let me grab a random piece of iron here. So what that does is, if we take the hammer and we take an ingot, you see that it's going to make a plate. And so that's what we're going to need for the first thing we want to make, which is an iron furnace. Click. You can see that it's a regular furnace and 5 iron plates. So that was step 1. So I made that and then started getting that to work on cooking. Now while that's cooking, I need to start working on the rest of the recipe for a generator. So the generator is the iron furnace, like I said, 3 more iron plates, so we're going to need 8 total, and a battery. And the battery, click, thank you. You can see it's made out of 4 tin item casings. Now we're going to want 2 batteries when you first start. You're going to need 1 battery for building the generator and another battery to use. So you may as well double this recipe. The way to make item casings, which I will demonstrate now, you make the plate and then immediately crush it again, and it'll make 2 item casings. So we're going to need 4 pieces of tin, 4 tin ingots, to get the 8 that we want to double that recipe. The redstone, like you saw, and 1 tin cable. And the way that that's going to work is we're going to make another tin plate, and then we're going to use these, the cutters, which I'll show you. The recipe for that is really simple. Cutter, click. 3 iron plates and 2 iron ingots will make your cutter. So the cutter is what we're using to make cable. You can see 1 plate makes 3 cable. And then, if you'll remember, we were cooking the raw rubber to make the, do I have any, it's probably in the extractor now, to make rubber, the IndustrialCraft 2 rubber, which is what we need to insulate the cable, like so. And again, we're going to need 2 of those because we're making 2 batteries. So, column. Do I have any resin? Oh yeah, and resin. This sticky resin is from the IC2 trees. You can also cook that in a furnace for a single piece of rubber. Just like everything else, don't go crazy cooking a ton of it. Just cook what you need. because as soon as you make the extractor, you'll be able to get more rubber. If you cook the sticky resin or the raw rubber in the furnace, you get 1 piece of rubber. Put it in the extractor, you get 3. So you don't want to overdo it. So once you get that going, what happens is you're going to... Let me see what I got here. Do I have any saplings? Yes, I do. You're going to place the generator. You're going to stick your battery up in the top. You're going to put something burnable in the bottom. I like the spruce saplings. I mean, I have them. Why not, right? And because I'm not going to plant spruce trees, so I don't have to use coal all the time. You can see it burns it very quickly. But so anyway, so that's going to store up power in the batteries. The batteries can hold 10K. So then the next thing you want to do is make a macerator. And in the beginning, the macerator is going to just be powered by the battery directly. And then eventually you'll have the setup that you see I have now where it'll all be connected. But one step at a time, I'm showing you how to get through all this. The macerator is a very simple recipe as well. 3 pieces of flint, 2 cobblestone. The basic machine casing is something you're going to have to make a lot of. But it's just 8 iron plates. Very simple recipe. Basic ingredient for just about every machine that you're going to make. And the electronic circuit, which is a little bit more complicated, but this is using copper cable, which is made the exact same way as the tin cable, just with copper, as one would imagine, and a single plate, and then the 2 redstone. There's our electronic circuit. So there's your macerator. Not the most difficult mats in the world. You should be able to bang that out pretty quick. As soon as you do, you've got your macerator. Like I said, you can power it directly with the battery. The battery goes here, and then ore. I don't think I have any ore for an example. Well, I've got lead ore. We can macerate that just to show you what happens. So the ore goes in there. There's your thing. And then it's going to pop out this, our crushed ore. And I actually need these to demonstrate something in a second. So we've got that. And then the extractor is going to be used for making... Oh, that's right. Can't put the raw rubber in the extractor. But I can put the rubber wood in the extractor. There we go. The raw rubber has to be burned because it's mine factory and the extractor doesn't accept it. So the extractor, also a very basic recipe, as it's the early machine that we're going to need. Another one of the basic machine casings, another one of the electronic circuits, and then 4 tree tabs. Very basic recipe. Gets us the extractor. You'll notice that this consumes 2 EU per tick. This also consumes 2 EU per tick. There's our crushed lead ore. So far we're only up to 4 EU. Not a very demanding system. So these things are all being powered by batteries. But the reason I start with these is because now we have a great source of rubber. And we're doubling all of our ore. So it's crushing 1 piece of lead ore. That gives us 2 crushed lead ore, which could later be cooked into 2 lead ingots if we needed it. So now we're doubling all of our ore, and that's why we started with the macerator as soon as possible. Then what I want to do is I want to wire all these things together. Now, you'll see that I have this wiring coming up here. There's a tin wiring is what you're going to need. It's, a 32 EU wire. And it just runs up to the bottom of these machines. This is why we dug out a basement, so the wiring's all hidden in the basement. You don't see it when you're upstairs. And you could see that all the machines were working with the wiring. Now, you can run the wire directly out of the generator if you want. The generator has this buffer that will make sure that you get a steady flow of electricity going to your machines. But I like to start with a bat box right out of the bat. You see that it's slowly draining power out of the bat box because we're not actually powering the generator right now. And but that's the thing. The bat box stores 40,000 EU, which is a lot more than the generator stores in the buffer, 10 times the amount. So that gives us more to work with. And actually, I don't need a battery, so let's drain the battery into the bat box to get us some extra power. So yeah, so that I like to get a bat box before I even bother wiring everything in. And just like everything else today, the bat box, very basic mats. Click on that really quick. So it's just 3 batteries, which we already know how to make. 5 pieces of any wood from any mod will work fine. And then just a single piece of tin cable. This is the only part that's tricky now. When you're placing the bat box, you're going to need a wrench. You see I have one there. To make a wrench, it's made out of bronze. We haven't talked about bronze yet. To make bronze dust, what you need to do is you need to crush some tin and crush some copper in the macerator. 1 piece of tin, 3 pieces of copper, as such, will give you 4 bronze dust. You're going to need 6 bronze to make the wrench. Let's see here. There's a lot of different wrenches for different mods, and we want the IST2 wrench, which is obviously that one. So bronze in that pattern will get you a wrench. And this is why you need the wrench when you're placing the bat box. First of all, a lot of these machines, especially the more advanced machines, if you try to pick it up with a pickaxe, there's a chance it'll break. So if we went to pick up the extractor, instead of getting an extractor, all you would get is the casing, the thing that costs the 8 metal to make, you know? So we would lose all the mats for making the extractor other than that 1 piece. Which obviously would be a very bad thing. So a wrench is good to have for that reason. The other reason that you need a wrench is to manipulate the bat box. So with a bat box, like any cube, it's got 6 sides. 5 of those sides can receive power. So you see it's sitting directly on top of the generator. You can set yours up how it can be next to it. You can connect it with a wire. It makes more sense just to put it right onto the generator for now. So 5 of those sides will receive power. 1 of the sides is what distributes the power, and that's the one with the circle. And I don't want to break the cable, but I can easily show you that just by, you see the icon for the bat box and it has that white circle right there in the front? The cable has to come out of that, which is what's going to your power. So when you place the bat box, let's say I placed it now, and the circle was facing me because I just placed it. I need it to be on the top. What I would have to do is I would have to go upstairs, break a hole in the floor so I can look down at it, and then click on it with a wrench. Whatever side you're looking at the bat box, if I click on it, the circle would, if I clicked on it right now, the circle would appear right here. And then if I clicked again, I would pick up the bat box. So you can move the circle, and if you want to pick it up, you need to click on the side with the circle. So that's how you move the output for the bat box. That's how you maneuver that around. So that's why you need to make a wrench before you place the bat box so that you can position the output where you want it to properly feed into your machine. So there you go. Now we have a functioning generator. It's hooked up to stuff so we don't have to run back and forth with batteries like an idiot. And we've got the 2 most basic machines that we could have to get things started. Again, I apologize that I kind of rushed through today's episode and we didn't get to do a lot of let's playing within the tutorial. I had to bang this out because, like I said, unfortunately the microphone goofed up on me. I don't know why it didn't record, but I'm recording this on Wednesday and I wanted it to be uploaded Thursday morning. So I still need to edit, render, and upload this video. So I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate the view and support as always, and join me on the next episode. Hopefully I'll be posting that for Saturday, where we will start to cover all the stuff that we have to cover to work our way towards the miner. So thanks, and I will see you next time. Laters!